Hello, my name is Debbie and this is my first painting video. I have been absolutely, I've fallen in love with all of the beautiful paintings that I'm seeing on YouTube, especially the acrylic pour paintings, and I am so desperate to have a go. So I had a little go without the right supplies, and you know, it was a bit mixed. I made a couple that were dreadful. And this one, which I'm kind of happy with, this was my first effort. I don't think it's too bad. I didn't get cells, I just had the paint. I didn't have any kind of additives. This one needs a little bit more varnish. So I've gone out and I've bought my supplies, and as you can see, they're all new because everything looks so clean and shiny and nothing has any paint on it yet. So I don't have really a craft store on where I live. I live in the Cayman Islands, and you know, there's a lot going on there, but craft supplies is something that's in short supply. So what I have managed to get is these kind of economy acrylic paints. I've got these plus about another 6 colours, but these are the bright ones, so these are what appeal to me the most. I've also got some little pots like these. I got these 6 for $1, so I was happy. I thought these would be good for mixing up small quantities of paint. I got myself some measuring spoons. I thought I didn't want to use the ones that I use in the kitchen, so I've just got some, again from the dollar store. I've got myself a little torch so that I can use this for hopefully getting some cells later on, but we'll see. I've got some squeezy bottles. This first one, I've already pre-mixed mixed up some white paint in here. And what I thought, because I've got such great big bottles of paint, it makes sense to me that instead of spending what limited crafting time I have mixing up small little things of paint like this, it would be really great if I could come up with a formula for how much paint, how much additives and water, put them all in a bottle, and it's done. And when I want to use it, I just squeeze them out into my little pots to use. So I've got a full one of white that I made yesterday. I spent a long time trying to get the mix right, so I don't know if it is, but we'll see when I look at that one later. I've got another squeezy bottle which has just got some water in it. Then I've got this, which I was able to get from my DIY store. This is Floetrol, and it's I suppose it's what you call a paint additive. It makes the paint smoother, it makes it more liquidy, and it flows more. So I'm going to add that. You can get a lot of other pouring mediums, but I can't get them where I am, so hopefully this will work. And then I've got my silicone spray. I couldn't get any silicone oil, but I did get this one, Liquid Wrench silicone spray, so I'm hoping that will work. And then I've got this nasty tray from the dollar store, which I'm hoping I'm going to work on in a minute, and it's going to keep my work area pretty clean. I've got my little craft sticks for mixing my paint. I've got a wet rag for picking up accidents. I'm sure there will be plenty of those. And I've got some nice thick plastic, which I bought on a roll, which I've got covering my work surface. And I've not got my best clothes on because I'm expecting things to go everywhere, and I've got gloves. So I'm trying to do what I can to keep things clean and tidy, because I like the look of it like this, but I think it's not going to stay like it long. So, oh, I'm not sure about these paints. These 3 in the middle I really like. At the moment I'm not sure whether I'm going with the purple or the blue. As I look at them, I think the purple. So let's take the blue out of the way. Okay, so these are going to be my colours. I'm going to go with 4 colours plus white. So if I stick those just off to the front here for now. So what I did, I thought the best thing to do if I want to come up with a formula for how to mix large quantities of paint would be to use a formula for small quantities. I'm a very scientific kind of person, so I always have to have, you know, some kind of formula or some kind of plan or instructions that I can follow, which is why I like YouTube, because there's so much on there for that. So this is what I did with my paint. I took 1 tablespoon of paint, then I took a half tablespoon of Floetrol and a half tablespoon of water, gave it a good mix around, and I think it looks similar to what I'm seeing in the videos. It holds on the stick, and when I pour it, it comes off in a nice smooth stream. And if that's all there is to it, then that's been a really easy formula, because it took me, I don't know, an hour of fiddling last night, adding more paint, adding more water and so on to get this right. I'm not sure whether it is now that I've seen this one, so we'll see later on. But anyway, that's my first colour mixed up. So it was a tablespoon of paint, a half tablespoon of Floetrol and a half tablespoon of water that got that effect. So now I'm going to try out my formula with the other paints. I've actually got 2 different brands there, so it may be that the formula for each will be different, plus for each paint might be different. So I'm just going to pop my lid on that one and I will mix up my other colours. So my paints are all mixed. I've got white, yellow, orange, pink and purple. My formula pretty much worked for all of them. The only one that was different was yellow, and it seemed a lot more thicker when it came out, and so I had to add an extra teaspoon and a half to that one in order to get it the same consistency as all the others. So now I've got them all mixed. I need to add my silicone spray. It comes a bit like, you know, like a WD-40. It comes with this little straw that you can put in here, but I'm not sure whether to use that or not. I'm thinking if I spray it through a straw, it could be too concentrated and just go into the paint to make everything go everywhere. So I'm going to try without the straw and we'll see what happens. But I've put a cloth down because I really don't want to get silicone all over the place. So let's see what happens. If I do it, I'll give it a shake and then, oh, okay, yeah, that was probably a bit too close because I squirted out a little bit. Okay, it's not the end of the world. That's why I've got my cloth there. Let's do the same with the yellow. Oh God, yeah, it comes out far too much. Oh, it's gone all over the side. Okay, so that didn't work so well. So maybe I do need to try the straw. It's making a right mess otherwise. So let's stick the straw in here and see if that makes it any better. Oh, does the straw fit? I should even have checked that. It should fit, shouldn't it? Okay, so now let's try that. Oh, okay. So that seemed to work a bit better. It directed it in, but it didn't give that huge thing of spraying colour everywhere. So I'm going to try again with the straw and the pink. Oh, yeah, okay. That's a winner. The straw wins for me. And this one on the purple. Okay. So that's my silicone in the colours. I need to give that another stir around. I can see it come into the surface. It's like a little film of oil. This is all very exciting. Actually, I might leave the tops off now. I don't really need those. They're just getting in my way. So I can just pop my sticks in. Take the tops off now, I think. Okay, so I've done the purple. Let's do the orange a good stir. And the pink. You can see the pink that's sitting on the surface just there. Don't know whether that one got more than the others, but it looks a little bit more oily than the others do. That might affect, I guess, the way it pours out later on. I don't know. And the yellow. This one was a little bit more full anyway. That's probably why it went all over the place, because I had to add a little bit more water to the yellow. So that one was a bit more full anyway. And my white. Okay, so I've got everything stirred. I've got my paints all ready. I think I'm ready to go. I'm a bit nervous. Okay, I'm going to set everything up and put all these in a cup. So I've got my cup and I'm ready to pour in all of my colours. But because I'm scientific, when I bought all of these colours new, they all had 16 ounces. And they're all pretty much in the same bottle. So what I did is I went through and I actually weighed each one of them in grams, and I've written it down because my thinking is, from what I've seen, that people are suggesting that the white is the heaviest colour. You want that on the top and then it sinks through. So I'm thinking that if I put the colours in the cup in the order of their weight, the heavier ones first, the lighter ones on the top, then when I pour, what I'm expecting is the lighter colours, in this case the orange and the pink, would come through, up through, and the heavier colours, the white and the yellow, would sink, and the purple is somewhere in the middle. So we will see what happens. I mean, I've seen plenty of times when people have the exact same colours, they put them in 2 cups, one here, they do exactly the same. One cup pours completely differently to the other. So although there's some science, I think a lot of it is just luck as well. So I'm going to use 1 cup. I actually have no idea. I've got a little 8x10 canvas panel here, which I've used in the past and which was a disaster. So I've just put a new coat of gesso over, and I'm going to use that one again. But I don't actually know how much paint I need to cover that one panel, how far up the cup it has to come. Maybe here? I have no idea. So I'm sure it's not going to take 5 of these little pots to cover a panel. So I'm just going to put them in order, probably, I don't know, like half of them or something, and then we'll see what happens. So just give it a little stir before it goes in, and I'll check. I'll throw some white in there first of all. Whoop. Oh, and I'm getting nervous now. Moment of truth. Give the yellow a little stir. That goes into, oh, I'm remembering I'm supposed to do it from a height so that the paints mix. So I'm going to lift it up. And the purple, my hands are getting all gunky now. I should probably get the sticks out of the way, should I? I don't know, what a mess. Let's do that from high up. Whoop. A little bit of purple. Okay, I can see the mixing. Oh, that's made a really funny green colour. Okay. And my pink. So I'm expecting to get colours that I haven't started with. The purple and the yellow are already making a green in there. Add the pink from a height. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get my fingers all messy if I continue to do that. Let's give the orange a little stir. Add that from a height. Well, they all look really nice in the cup anyway. So let's go back. I'm going to do a bit more white. Oh, I have cells. I can see in the cup there's stuff happening. The paint is reacting with each other and making cool patterns in the cup. I'm quite excited now. Before I wasn't sure if any of this was going to work. It still might not work. It still might come out as a complete horrible brown mess, a bit like the last things that I did. Okay, a bit more purple. More pink. Oh, but I'm feeling more optimistic. I've got nice bright colours, which I like. I can see stuff going on in the cup there. Okay, I think I probably still need more, so let's keep going. Put in a bit more each time this time. More yellow. And my cup's starting to look quite orange. Maybe that colour is going to dominate. It's also the lightest, so in theory it should come to the surface more too as the paint moves about and flows on the canvas. So I could end up with a very orange painting. I might not put quite so much orange in this time. And then just another layer of white, just a bit. Okay, so do I have enough? I don't know, I've got about 40% of a cup. There's a lot of paint there, so I think I'm going to call that enough and put these off to one side. I've got some left in my little pot, so I can always mix up some more, put it back in the cup if I need it. So let's have a go. Oh, I need something to stand it on. What have I got for that? Okay, so I've just got a couple of plastic cups on my tray. I'll put my canvas on top. Here's my colours. They're looking fabulous in there, so I'm quite excited about what it's going to look like. So I'm going to just put that here and turn it, and that is a moment of no going back. Whatever comes out is going to be what comes out. It's leaking a little bit because my canvas has got a bit of a warp on it. Well, it's not really a canvas, it's a panel. So I'm just going to allow it to sit and let any paint drain down, because I want to get all those colours and all those layers. And then I'm just going to pick it up when I pluck up the courage. Oh goodness. It looks very orange from what's seeping out around the outside. Okay, so here we go. Ooh! Nice. Oh, I should have levelled it. You know, I bought some little levels as well, and then I forgot to use them. Never mind. I think because my canvas is a little bit warped that I may have a problem getting it to go into the corners, but we'll see. Ooh, the inside of the cup looks lush too. Okay, so I can see I've already got a little bit of action going on here. Before anything else happens, I'm going to get my trusty torch. Let's see, first time I've used this. So. Oh, okay. So that has changed it quite a lot. Where they were quite big cells, now everything seems to have broken down into smaller cells, but it still looks nice. I've got this big orange part here, which is probably going to run off, but we'll see. I guess it's about time to start moving it. Right, what I'm going to do, actually, because it doesn't seem a massive volume of paint, so I'm just going to wet the edges. Let me get a brush and some water. So I'm just going to slightly wet these edges and help the paint flow into the edges and the corners, because on the previous tests that I've done I didn't have quite enough paint and it ended up being a bit thin. So I think if I wet these edges it'll help things flow a bit more. Okay, so I'm ready to start making my mess. Which way should I go first? I guess over here and then over this side afterwards. So let's see, I'm going to pour it slowly. I don't want too much to be lost. I want it to fall. Oh look, see, I'm losing all this nice shape off the edges and ended up with the mess there in the corner. Okay, go back a bit this way. Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? It looked so promising, but now I'm pouring it, it's all getting very distorted. This part here is really nice, but I'm guessing when I move it to cover that corner it's all going to disappear. Yeah, I've just got kind of a mess now. Okay, well, we live and learn, don't we? It's all very kind of jagged looking instead of smooth like it was. Okay, well, it's not totally ugly. Well, it's quite ugly. It's far too, maybe I just put the painting in too many layers. I'm not liking this. Oh, now I've put my finger in it, so that's not going to help either. Let's pour it back a little bit that way. Oh, now it's just even worse. Oh well. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. What have I done wrong? Too many colours with the paint thicknesses not right. It maybe moved a bit too quickly, so maybe they were a little bit too wet. Let's see if I can move some of this shape back a little bit more in towards the centre. Okay, yeah, it's kind of muddy. So what can I do? Can I try and mix up something else? If I can get some more shape to it and hide up some of those patches that I don't like so much. So I'm going to pour a bit more of my paint in to my cup here, because I've got little bits left over. And then if I try to pour on top, perhaps give it a little stir, I can hide those bits that I'm not a big fan of so much and create something nicer. Who knows? It's probably just going to spread out that ugly part though. Wow, the people on YouTube and everything, on Facebook, they make it look so easy, and clearly it's not. If all you had to do was put some paint in a cup and pour it, we'd all be doing it, right? Okay, so let's pour it towards this corner where it's kind of ugly. So it's got a kind of a nice diagonal shape going on, but it's still got an ugly patch over here and a not very nice patch over here, but I'm worried too much about moving it. I'll see if I can pour something off that ugly corner. Certainly got plenty of paint anyway. Oh, okay. So that hasn't turned out too bad. That's not as ugly. It's still not great. I don't think it's going to help that my canvas has little a little bit of a turned up edge either. Probably needed a flatter one. Anyway, let's give it another go with the torch and see what happens. Ooh. Well, that's brought out a lot of very tiny cells. I'm not sure whether I like that better or not. It looks kind of busy now. Anyway, that is it. Well, I'm not overly impressed. I think I need a lot more practice. But anyway, thanks for watching along with me as I created my first proper acrylic flow painting.